Toronto Venture Exchange-listed precious metals company Pure Gold Mining has listed on the main market here in London. It owns the Madsen Red Lake gold deposit, where it's recently released results of a feasibility study. Darren Lebrens is Chief Executive and President of the company. Joins us now. Darren, welcome. And congratulations, coming to London in an IPO, 32p. We'll talk a bit about that in just a minute, but why London? What is it that attracts you to the London market?
Well, it's a great question, and you know, clearly London has a very long history with mine finance, and that's part of the draw here, and really reflects a broader, call it a capital depletion dynamic that's occurred over the last decade or so that affects not only Canadian producers or Canadian mining companies, but it really is more broadly a global phenomenon. So us coming to London really is an opportunity to introduce our story, which you think is a strong quality story based in Canada, to a broader global audience to attract capital.
Yeah, and you've not raised any money this time around, I believe. That's correct, is it?
No, that's correct. This is an introduction. It's not done in conjunction with a capital raise at this time.
Why not? Because quite often when a company comes to the market, you're coming over here with a blaze of glory and whatever have you, and it's an opportunity to say, look, we want some money to progress whatever it is we're doing. Was it not an opportunity missed?
I don't think it's an opportunity missed. We've just completed a feasibility study which really outlines a future production for Pure Gold. There will be a capital requirement for that, and certainly coming to London is a part of that equation in terms of solving for that project capital. But in conjunction with the listing at this time, we did not.
I want to get on to the funding of your project in just a minute, but very briefly, one final question about the listing. You're going to keep feet in both camps on both sides of the Atlantic, or are you going to move away from Canada?
We are. We have a broadly supportive shareholder base that's been largely built out of Canada, and again coming across to London provides us an access to a global reach, if you will.
Yeah. Okay, let's get back to the project then. The Madsen Red Lake gold deposit. This feasibility study that you've come through with. What's that tell us about the project and where you go?
Well, we're really excited about the feasibility study that's just come out. This project is located in Red Lake, Ontario, which is a historic mining camp in Canada. Produced about 30 million ounces to date in the camp. It is arguably the highest grade gold camp in North America. Our project today, as outlined in the feasibility study, outlines a 800 ton per day underground mining operation, a 12-year life of mine, and importantly is the highest grade development project in Canada today. It comes with a very low capital requirement of about 95 million Canadian dollars, or about 71 million US, and so several attributes from this feasibility study really allow Pure Gold to stand out from a crowd of mining companies.
Yeah, in the context of what you just said in terms of the capital requirement, what's on the balance sheet, and if there's a differential, how are you going to get to where you need to be?
Yeah, so we're sitting at about 7 million Canadian today in terms of the balance sheet, and clearly there's a capital requirement for moving the project forward, and we're working towards that now.
Any idea as to how you're going to raise that money? Have you got any sort of early indications or early thoughts?
Yeah, we've engaged Endeavour Financial here in London to help us with project finance, and we've been working towards that over the last several months with the feasibility study now complete and outlining the complete project requirements. We'll move forward with several interested parties to investigate how that project capital will come together.
And my understanding is, from reading around in the subject of your company, is that this is quite a quick job, isn't it, to get to production? Yeah,
it is a brownfield site as we describe it, which means that there's significant infrastructure on our project. Some of those key building blocks that you need to build a mining operation are in place already. We have a processing plant. We have a tailings management facility. We have underground access via both ramp and shaft. So all of these things really allow us to leverage that and move very quickly into production.
Yeah, and production. Have you got an idea yet as to when you'd like to be in production? I mean, there's obviously a lot of things to do before you get to that stage, but any idea?
Yeah, subject to investment decision and project finance, clearly. It is a very short build, so we're looking at a 13-month implementation schedule, which brings us to second half of next year for targeting production and cash flow.
Yeah, so what's in your in tray in terms of what you've got to do to get everything in place for that date to happen?
Yeah, today's an exciting step forward on the path to production, but we do have a lot of work in front of us. Once the capital is in place, we obviously have a build. We'll need to work on upgrading the mill. We are looking at resizing it to improve the production profile of the project, and a lot of underground development to provide access to the ore body to enable our mining.
Yeah, we'll look forward to the headlines as they come through. But Darren, in the meantime, thanks indeed for joining us. With an IPO here in London for the company, the Pure Gold mining business comes to London. Darren Lebrens there, Chief Executive.